Good morning, students. In this session, I am going to teach you about isometric projection. So, what is an isometric projection? Means this is nothing but an orthographic projections where the solid is kept such that, okay, so this is a solid. I am going to keep that all the three axes of the solid. So actually we have only one axis, center joining line. This is one vertical axis, I can say it as. If I am drawing this axis means x axis through the center, then y axis, then z axis. So from the center we can draw three axes. From the geometric center of the object, we can draw three axes: x axis, y axis, and z axis. So here in this, we are going to place the object such that all the axes are making equal inclination or equally inclined to the plane, or equally inclined to the plane of projection. Plane of projection. So orthographic projection. This is an orthographic projection. Top. Okay. So this is horizontal plane and vertical plane. So here, if I am keeping this like this means we can able to see only the front view. Okay, the top view. So only one side is visible in one view. So if I am keeping the solid like that. So how I am keeping means the axes are having equal incline, having equal inclination with the horizontal plane and vertical plane and side plane. So all the axes are equally inclined. Now I am going to project the front view. Okay, so the object one view is obtained. So in the view, what is the advantage means? So all the sides, three sides, top view is visible in the view, and these two sides are visible in this. So three sides are visible in the single view. So in this position means the front view only one side is visible. If I am keeping like this, only two sides is visible. So, but in this type of projection, so top plane, top side and two lateral sides are also visible in a single view. So, these are advantages of isometric projection. So, this is a pictorial projection. Otherwise, it is named as pictorial projections. So, here we study the definition. So isometric projection as any object is a single orthographic projection. This is an orthographic projection of the object placed so that its three axes are equally inclined. So it's an orthographic projection. So in this, the object is placed so that its three axes are equally inclined to the plane of projection. Equally inclined to the plane of projection. In this position, all the three sides of the object are exposed to the viewer. The viewer, in the single view, all the three sides, top side and two lateral sides are visible in the single view. So these are advantages of orthographic projections. Then we will study about orthographic length. Isometric length. Isometric length. Isometric length means, so actually we know that true length of the object. Now this object is inclined. What is the inclination means? We will make it as 30-degree incline. Okay, isometric. So we use 30-degree incline. So the axes are 30-degree inclined to the horizontal plane, vertical plane. So and also, so we like this. So this is having angle 30-degree to the horizontal plane. Similarly, the vertical, this line. This axis, vertical axis also having 30-degree inclined to the vertical plane. Like that I am keeping this. Now I am going to do the front view. So view is coming like this. So view. So this is the view of the object. So when you are looking from the front, I am projecting here this much. The view is obtained. So now, is it having the true length? Is it representing the true length? The height is and also side is not representing the true length because it is inclined. This edge is inclined. So the top, the front view, this height is not showing the true length, and also this length also not showing the true length on the view because all the sides are inclined. So how much of inclined means? So for getting the isometric length, we have to multiply the true length with 0.82. So 35 length. So for getting isometric length, when we are drawing the isometric projections, so we have to multiply with 0.82 with the true length, and we have to draw the isometric projections. But here in the subject, we will see only about isometric view only we will ask. Mainly in our subject, we deal with only isometric view. That means we are not going to change the length. Only with the true length we will draw. Okay, in isometric projection means we should not draw with true length. We have to multiply all the length with 0.82, then only we have to draw the diagram. But if in the question it is asked, draw the isometric view, like that if they are asking means we have to use the same length. Whatever the length they are giving, with that length we have to draw the view. That's all about our isometric projections. Now we try to solve the problems on the isometric projection one by one. Okay. So listen to this. So see our problem. Draw the isometric view of a hexagonal prism. Draw the isometric view of a hexagonal prism of base side 15 mm and height 35 mm when it rests on one of its end on the HP. Rest on one of its end on the HP. So for hexagonal prism we have two ends, top end and bottom base. It is lying on HP on one of its end on HP with two of its base sides parallel to the VP. With two of its base sides parallel to the VP. Two of its base sides. So this base side and this base side is being parallel to the VP. Parallel to the VP. Now in this position we have to draw the isometric view. So listen, isometric view is given. Isometric view. So we have to use the same length as in the drawing. So first what we have to do means, first we have to draw the orthographic projection in this orientation. Okay. So in this orientation we can able to draw the top view first, and then we can able to project the front view. So I draw the top view first. XY line. So first we have to draw the hexagon. Hexagon, what's the base side? 15. So measure 15 millimeter and we have to draw the hexagon. So I draw a hexagon with side 15 millimeter. So hexagon. So we have how many sides means? We have 12 corners. So what top corners I name it as A, B, C, D, E and F. Similarly we have bottom corners also. Bottom corners I name it as 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We have top corners and bottom corners. Then project the front view. What's the height means? Height of the object is 35 millimeter. Then I can mark the 35 millimeter as height. Okay, then the points are A dash, B dash, C dash, C dash, D dash, E dash and F dash. So here okay, now we mark the front view and the top view. Now what we have to do is we are going to draw the isometric view of the object. Isometric view of the object. So what we have to do is first we draw one horizontal line. Okay. First we have to draw one horizontal line. Okay, horizontal line. Then mark one point. Okay. So here we are using 30-degree inclined lines. Okay. So I use 30-degree inclined lines. I keep a point here and mark 30-degree and also now 30-degree. 30-degree lines. Okay. 30-degree lines. Okay. Be careful. So this angle is 30-degree. So here also the angle is 30 degrees. 30 degrees. Now what we have to do is first we use box method. So I enclose this object in a rectangular box. So for that I draw one box like this. So I enclose the object top in a rectangular box and I name the corner pointers. So this point is L, M, N and O. I name the corner pointers L, M, N, O. Now I am going to represent this box on this object. Then the viewing location is very important. So now I am viewing through this direction. In this direction I am viewing. So in another object I can view like this also. From this side also we can change the view location. Now I am viewing the object from this side. So from this side means I have to use this corner point L here. Okay, L here. If I am moving through this direction means I have to keep M here. Now I am moving in this direction. Now I keep L here. So left side LO should be marked here. So I measure this distance. Okay, this distance L to O. This distance I mark. I measure this distance in the compass and I have to mark here. So this point is O. L. This point is O. Then this L M. This measurement I mark here L M. So this point is L M. L M. Then we have to mark N only. So for measuring N, what we have to do is, so with the compass itself we can make this distance. So I measure this distance L to N, O to N. So I draw one arc. Then M to N. M to N. So I measure this M to N. I mark. So this is our L, M, N, O. So in another way we can do this. How I can do this means I have to draw one parallel line. So here. And I have to draw one another parallel line through this side. So it will meet this point. That method also we can choose for finding the value of, finding the place of position of N. So I mark this L and N. That's how I got it. Okay. L, O, M. Then what I have to do is, so here I enclosed with one box in the bottom base. So as like this, top base also we can enclose with a box. So for that what we have to do is, first draw vertical line, perpendicular lines. Okay, perpendicular lines from all the corner points. Okay, from all the corner points draw perpendicular lines. Draw the perpendicular lines from all the corner points. Then measure the height of the object. Measure the height of the object from the front view. From the front view, I measure the height. So I mark from all the points. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I can complete this. So I completed the box also. So bottom box and top box, the height is inside. Then what we have to do is mark the inside points. Inside points. Okay. So here L to M. See L to M. L to M. So L to M I can measure this distance. So I mark this point. So this point is our 2. Okay, this point is our 2. Then L to this point is, this is our 3. Then similarly M to N. M to N. M to N, I mark this point is 4. Okay, then this distance O to this distance to this point is 4, 5, 6. Then this distance O to A. This point is 1. So now we can connect these points 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. So I connected the bottom hexagon here. So now similarly we can able to mark here also. Okay, mark here also all the points, but mark here also. Here also means this point is our L, right? So I can mark this distance L to B. So this distance I will mark, and I have to mark this distance. Okay. This distance only. So I can mark this value. Okay, I got all the points of this. So these points are named as here A, B, C, D, E and F. So another method also we can use this. So now A to B, B to C, C to D. So we got the top hexagon also. So we can use another method also. Okay, so here from this I connect 1 and A, vertical 1A. Then this point, yes. Then this edge, and then finally this. So looking from here, this edge is visible. So I mark like this, isn't it? So I mark this edges. So from this I am weaving means it is visible, this edge is visible, this edge is also visible. So here I draw the outsides as visible edges. Then inside E to D, these edges are hidden edges. So hidden edges means we will mark as dashed lines. Okay, marked as dashed lines, but for isometric view, we should not draw the hidden lines as such. So don't need to represent the hidden edges. So here also this edge is not visible. So we don't want to represent the hidden edges of the isometric view. Just after that only we mark. So what are the finally what are the visible edges means we marked as dark. So top edges is visible, so the inner edges are not visible. So don't want to mark the inner edges in the isometric projection. And also we don't want to mark the height length also in the isometric view. Just we have to draw the view only in the drawing. That's all about isometric projections.